Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 17 of Abundant by Nature. I'm Camellia Jaber.
And I'm Dunya Jaber, and today's episode is about the importance of having an open mind.
Importance of having an open mind. First of all, we wanted to say, hey, guys, I know it's been a while. Lots has happened. I don't know if you guys have tuned in to the world, but lots has happened, and we haven't had an opportunity to do a podcast. So we're back. We're back today. And the topic, open mind, I felt is really important because the reason why you want to have an open mind is it relieves a lot of the suffering. So a lot of the times we get caught into these negative patterns in our lives or things that are outside of our control. And if we keep looking at that thing as, oh, this is happening and so it is causing my suffering, and I keep looking and that my focus is on the bad thing that's going on, you are obviously and definitely going to feel bad. So the thing about having an open mind is being able to, yes, this is happening in the world, right? But I am able to turn in and shift my perspective into another way. So what I've learned from all the studies that I've done is honestly like having the power to first of all change the perspective. So what's good is coming out of this terrible situation, right? And then shift that focus and put it on the good that's coming out. So for me, with this Black Lives Matter happening right now, I I am so happy, and I'm really hoping. And if you followed my art, you could see that I'm all about it's time for a love revolution, because I really think that we need to clear the shits. And we need to really be open about everything that's going on in the world, and then take the shift out of from fear, which there's a lot of fear mongering going on right now concerning this topic, and shift it to the future that I hope to see, right? So in opening my mind to the possibility of something amazing and actually focusing on that really helps relieve my stress right now in this situation what's happening. Another thing was still with the pandemic and all that's happening. I also have to shift my perspective and open my mind and be like, well, how am I being proactive so that if I am exposed to COVID, that I am healthy enough to withstand it. So instead of wishing that you do not get affected by COVID, actually being proactive and being, taking better care of my health, increasing my supplementation right now if I need to, making sure that I'm working out, keeping a distance. So this is what open mind means. It's understanding the things that go on in this world. Most of it is not within your control. The only thing you have is you, and it's not easy. I've been doing this now for 5 years, and I still, come across challenges where my mind keeps wanting me to go to that negative thing, which feels really hard and bad on the body. But as soon as I shift my mind to something opposite, right away my body feels good, right away I feel better, right away I release the suffering. That's why I think it's so important to have an open mind, which means like really open your perspective to all possibilities out there, not just the narrow one that you're focused on,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, and especially if you've grown up with a whole bunch of rules and limitations and belief systems and all of that, and you stick to those throughout your whole life, and then you miss out on so many opportunities and so many areas of your life just because you're trying to follow a bunch of things that people told you to follow, and that keeps it in a closed mind basically. So for example, our parents, they stuck with a certain way of life, and like I feel like they wasted a lot of their life worrying and overprotecting us, and um, not trusting the outside world anymore because of everything that they've been through and stuff. And so they have that fear that, for example, didn't let us do many things that others were doing at our age and stuff like that. So we're in this limitation. But then when you reach a point where you realize, like, oh, I don't need to be living this way. There's a lot of people who have more freedom and they are so much more happier in their lives, and they seem like more at ease, and they don't, they're not stressed out all the time and stuff. But that's all about looking at life in a different way and a different angle, and realizing that all these rules, you don't have to follow them. If they don't serve you, if you don't feel comfortable within these rules, you have the right to change these rules and do whatever you want. Like, open your mind to other ways of living and expressing yourself and being yourself. And if something doesn't resonate with your true self, you're not going to feel well until you figure it out, until you actually are expressing your true self. Reach your purpose.
Yes. That's beautiful. I love that you went into that. And I think we were just discussing this right before we started the show, but I think we are ready to open up more to our life, because we have leading lives. And all this work that we've done helps us see that, right? Because it helps us break open from the patterns that we have been ingrained with, from the belief systems that everybody else has that we took in, right? So when we opened our mind and looked at, well, what do I want? What do I like? What do I want to do? Like me, not what anybody else thinks. Like, how do I feel about this situation? How do I feel about COVID? How do I feel about Black Lives Matter? Like me, not what anybody else thinks, not what me, not what your parents, not what anybody else. Me, like, what do I think?
Yeah.
And I think it's so important, and it's so, honestly, it's such a relief to just be able to be you. So I think moving forward, we're definitely going to share more stories, and fuck, they're funny. Like, we have interesting families, we have interesting mindset beliefs in all these different families. We have interesting lives. We've explored and enjoyed our lives, against all odds. That's why I wanted to become open, because I've seen what it's like to be shut and basically just living every day pretty much the same. Man, that's hell. What's amazing is when you are open. So when you open your mind, you open your life to new experiences, you start to enjoy life, you start to understand that yes, life is exciting, yes, life is amazing, because you have broken out of that constricted mindset, and you stopped living in this pattern. If you're not doing something new on a regular basis, you're not living. And so if you want to be happy, the secret to happiness is the open mind. It's the mindset. Open your mind and see. Honestly, it's amazing. Honestly, it's amazing.
It's all about going through these experiences that you feel challenged with. You feel fear. You feel like, oh, should I do it? I don't think I'm good enough to do it. I don't think I'm ready to do it. And actually, when you do these things, that's where you're expanding yourself, when you're expanding your limits and getting out of your comfort zone. And then so many other things will open up for you in your life that you enjoy. But it's all about pushing ourselves through that limiting belief that we have on ourselves. We always have these doubts about ourselves, like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And we like back out the last minute of something that we were so excited about for such a long time. But then we just get this rush of feelings and we like take them so seriously that we just stop ourselves. But we actually have to go through these challenges and these times that sometimes seem like something that you just want to avoid completely, but these are usually the times where you have to push yourself through. And when you go through it, like, you come out much happier at the end of it. Like, you're like, fuck man, I'm so glad I did that. It was hard, it was challenging, I cried, I laughed, I whatever, but it made me grow. And you can feel it in your body, and you're
Yes.
like, I could do something like this again. Like, I want something that makes me expand like this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And release the judgment. So I think the biggest thing, and I don't think it's just our culture, I think it's world, internationally, that we are so worried about being judged by others, because basically we were raised like that, right?
Yeah.
We've seen judgment all our lives. But
Mm.
we have to not allow judgment to dictate our life and our experiences. This is our life. This is our shot here to enjoy life.
Yeah.
So we have to, as hard as it is, and again, it does take work, we have to release and understand that when we are objecting to something, is it because we're afraid of the judgment that we are going to get from others? Are
Hmm.
we judging ourselves? Are we judging what people are going to judge us? Or am I here to live and have experiences and
Yeah.
grow? You grow with every experience, you grow. With every experience, there's more bliss. With every experience, yeah, you become more into yourself, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. And something to relate with these times too. I feel like there's so many words and terms and labels on so many things, and everybody's taking so many things personally these days. And we all have rights. We have the freedom to everything that we want to be. But when you start taking everything, every little thing personally, it's like you are making it so much harder on yourself. And the world it just becomes more complex because like everybody has different languages and we speak differently and we communicate with each other differently. And if you say something to somebody and it sounds offensive to you, maybe they didn't mean to say it like that. For example, we also grew up in a place where people would talk shit to us sometimes, and especially from our family. So I, from my experience, grew up to fucking realize that fucking people's opinions don't give me anything in my life. It doesn't serve me shit. I don't need to care about anybody's opinion or judgment because they are not making me money. They are not living my life. They don't see like what I'm going through or whatever, or see the world as I see it, and I don't live their life. So their judgments are a reflection of them towards themselves. So if there's something that really triggers them so much about somebody, that is something inside of them that they don't like about themselves. So we shouldn't be so offended by words. Sometimes words hurt, especially when it comes from people who are close to us. But from fucking strangers, why do we care? We don't know some people, and sometimes mean words ruin our whole day. It's like, why? There's no reason for that. Just let it
Yeah,
go. It's just,
you can love everyone and not like everyone.
yeah. We're
Love
not
them
here
as your
to like
brother and
everyone.
sister, right? Love them as your brother and sister, as a
Sure.
human being here on earth, just
Yeah,
the same as you. Just that for that. But you don't have to like everyone and everybody.
yeah.
So it's not about that. Yeah, exactly. It's about realizing that also nobody else is feeling your feelings when you
Mhm.
when you take things personally about what.
I think that should wrap today's episode up.
Yes,
Thank
thank you
you.
guys. We miss you, and we are back. We
Yes.
are back. Send us any questions that you have.
And
Yeah,
your
get
dream
ready for some
life.
more real talk.
Yes. And send us your dream lives. Don't forget. We
Don't
still have
forget to send us your dream lives.
that.
This is the time to dream. You gotta keep dreaming. You gotta keep dreaming because we manifest the lives that we have. So if you want a fantastic life, you better get on it. You better get on imagining it. You better get on feeling it. You better get on living it. That's how it works.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, guys. Until next time.
Till next time. Peace out.